It's hard to imagine now, but during the COVID bourbon boom, one of the most allocated whiskeys was the regular 90 proof Sazerac Rye. It actually took about 2 years before we saw it on the shelf again. Obviously now it's everywhere, it's on the shelf, and we can get it at any time. So Buffalo Trace said, hey, let's spice it up a little bit. Let's give the people what they want, which is the higher proof. So a couple of months they did release the 100 proof Sazerac Rye, and now this, the full 125 proof Sazerac Rye. And the best part, it comes in at a modest $35. And even the better part, there are a lot of reviews that's comparing it to this. Thomas H. Handy, the barrel proof rye whiskey from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. So I'm gonna let you know 3 things today. First, is the Sazerac Rye even any good? Is it even worth the $35? Second, I'm gonna compare to the Thomas H. Handy to see if it gets close, because let's be honest, that would be incredible. And third, as a bonus, after I drink the Thomas H. Handy, I'm gonna do a quick review and let you know what's the maximum price I'll pay for it, because let's be honest, most of us won't find it at retail price. So let's answer those questions together right now.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to Whispering, my name is David. And when the Sazerac Full Proof Rye was first announced in the beginning of 2025, we got really excited. The reason? There's not a lot of barrel proof ryes from Buffalo Trace. I mean, there's only 2, right? The aforementioned Thomas H. Handy and the impossible to find E.H. Taylor barrel proof straight rye, which basically only had 1 batch last year. So when they announced this, the Sazerac Rye at basically barrel proof at 125, we're like, oof, we really hope they came at a decent price. And they deliver at $35. And the cooler part is the age. Because it says straight rye on here, it is at least minimum aged 4 years. But the rumor is there's a lot of 6-year aged whiskeys in here, because that's what normally Sazerac ryes are aged. If that's the case, it is very close to that Thomas H. Handy, which does have an age statement of 6 years, 3 months. Well, none of the questions are gonna get answered by me just sitting here and talking. So no more, let's get drinking. Opening ceremony. Yes. All right, this has been opening up for about 10 minutes, so it should be ready to go. Well, you know what? I'm really hoping this is amazing, because another amazing rye whiskey at around 35 bucks would be incredible. So first, the nose. Ooh. The nose does remind me of the Thomas H. Handy, especially that candied orange note with a touch of, let's say, burnt oak or burnt wood. Man, the nose, it's, wow. That, because usually what I get from the regular 90 proof Sazerac Rye is like a really sour green apple. And I'm not really into that, almost like a minty green apple. But this has no apple and all orange and all goodness. And of course, nose could be the same, but the palate could be absolutely different. So hopefully it tastes wonderful as well. Cheers, guys. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm stunned. I'm sitting here just mind boggled. This is amazing. This is incredible. Wow. It's good. It's really good. I mean, I wasn't expecting much. I mean, just for reference, I am not a big fan of the regular 90 proof Sazerac Rye. As I mentioned, even not only just the nose, but the palate is very thin, very, I don't want to say minty, but like floral, and has, like, it's not very sweet. It's not very good. I don't care. I had 2 picks. I had 3 bottles. Just not a fan. And so coming in, I was like, this can't be that good. I mean, if it's just amped up of the Sazerac Rye, I'm probably not gonna like it. But this, ooh, I can see why people love it so much. I can see why people compare it to the Thomas H. Handy. Wow. The surprising part is the first and second sip. I got this very nice, dark oak, like I'm drinking a nice aged rye whiskey. That does not remind me at all of the regular Sazerac Rye. It has slight of that orange citrus candiness, but it's more of the dark oaky, the more of the burnt caramel even type of feel. Wow, but it does have the essence or the body of a rye. It is very spicy, but a very sweet spice that I absolutely love in every rye whiskey. And this definitely delivers. Woo. Now on the second and third sips, you get a little bit more of that sweet candied green apple. And then it goes down smooth with, again, the body of the rye. The spice just tingling all the way down. But then the sweetness of the fruits, the orange, the apple, even a little bit of mango, and even a little bit of peach. I mean, you get all the great essence, the spectrum of sweet fruits. For 35 bucks? You know what, for the first question, for 35 bucks, this is absolute buy. Buy and back it up. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a shelfer, and right now it's not that allocated. It is available in many places around here, but this is gonna be one of the first bottles in a while that I'm just gonna buy it back up. I want this, I'm gonna drink this, I'm gonna have this very, very often. Whew, that juiciness, that oakiness, that spiciness, it's very complex, but it's very balanced and it's very fun. Every sip is a little bit different. You get the fruit on the first sip, then you get the oakiness on the second sip, then you get the spice on the third sip, and then it's even different from the tip of the tongue to the middle to all the way to the finish. Wow. And now, after tasting it, when I compare it to Thomas H. Handy, it's gonna be a fun comparison. I thought when I drank this, I was gonna not like it. I don't like the Sazerac Rye, so it's like amped up version of that. It's not gonna be comparable, right? But man, now let's see who wins. I want to take 1 second to let you guys know that I am very thankful and grateful that you guys are watching my video. It is a pleasure, it is a privilege to be on your phone, on your TV, or your computer, wherever you're watching, and you're watching a guy who just likes to drink whiskey. And of course, my Patreon YouTube members, you guys believe in me, trust me, and so I will do everything I can to provide absolutely great entertainment. Thank you. Now the fun part, comparing it to this bad boy right here, the Thomas H. Handy, the Barrel Proof Rye Whiskey from the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. This year in 2025, the proof is 129.8. Its age is 6 years, 3 months. Now, that is the youngest barrel of the blend, but if you can see by the color, it's actually about the same, but I'm pretty sure there's older whiskeys in this blend. But let's see if it tastes better, because this Sazerac Rye kind of blew my mind. And so, this is gonna be fun. Well, here we go. Let's open it. Nice. You know, there's not a lot of things in the whiskey world that compares to just opening up a Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. And so that was a lot of fun. But you know what's gonna be more fun? Comparing these two bad boys to see if this could stand up to this. And of course, as a bonus at the end, I'm gonna let you know how much I would pay for this now that I had a taste of this. So let's get to this Thomas H. Handy. It's been about 15 minutes I opened it. I did want to give it a little bit more air space because it is a Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. So here we go. First, the nose. Oh, you know, I thought the Sazerac Full Proof Rye was really good nose, but this, man, it feels like I'm in front of like a campfire, just kind of roasting some oranges. It's a very burnt, sweet orange type of nose that, let's be honest, is just wonderful. But nose can be wonderful, but the palate better be delicious, because it is one of the hardest whiskeys to get in the bourbon community. So here we go. Cheers, guys. Wow. Buffalo Trace, man, they never miss with their antique collection. Wow. You know, this is a great rye. This is an incredible rye. Holy God, the first sip just had like how do you say, just punches, like buckets of orange that were just sugar laden and just caramel laden. It was just sweetest orange that you'll ever get, but not too sweet. It does have that oak and the spice to kind of rein in the sweetness and make sure that it's in its place. It has a great feel. Wow. I don't even know if that made sense, but let's be honest. Drinking this is just an absolute wonderful experience. Whew. And then on the third and fourth sips, on the mid and the finish, I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's a very, like a euphoric, almost like a Zen-like experience. Just absolutely delicious. You know what, I can tell you all the notes in the world, that oak, that sweet damn oak. And I mention it so often because it feels like it's a note that I get from really wonderful whiskeys. And obviously the Thomas Age candy has it. It's not as prevalent as something that's much, much older, but because ryes do age faster, it feels like it's there. And it's complemented by the orange, the spice, a little bit of like peach nectar type of feel. And it's like all just done perfectly, almost like as if it was just hand-picked oranges and like hand-washed peaches and just handmade jam all put over a campfire, and you're just getting it all gooey, oozy, and you're getting it with a lot of alcohol. It's mesmerizing. There you go. That's the best word I could put. So I'm actually gonna go back and forth for the next couple of minutes, and I'm gonna let you know if this is gonna be comparable to this in about 3 seconds. I actually took about 15 minutes to go back and forth, take my time to enjoy, to soak it in, to let you know if these are comparable. So which one is the better whiskey? Obviously it's the Thomas H. Handy. Let's be honest, they're not gonna mess up the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection. They're not gonna miss on this bad boy right here. And at MSRP of $150, obviously it's a buy at that price all day. But is this comparable? Is this something that could stand up to this? Yes. Holy God, this is an absolute monster. The Full Proof is probably about 80% of what you get from this. Now, I want to compare it to like, this is a really good New York strip steak. Very delicious, very nice, but this is American Wagyu ribeye steak. It has all the marblings, it has all the trimmings, it has all the tenderness. This is very delicious. If you cook a steak well, the New York strip is probably 80 to 90% of what you can get from a ribeye. But that ribeye with that marbling, with that tenderness, with that juiciness, just can't be beat. And this is kind of this. And of course, the price difference is about the same. This at basically 1/5 the price, this is going for about $400, $500 in the resale market. So you're looking at 1/10 of the price. It's not even a comparison. The Sazerac Full Proof. If you never had the Thomas H. Handy, you never had this great whiskey, this rye whiskey, then just get this. You're gonna get most of the experience. It has the oak, it has the orange, it has the fruit. It's not as refined as this. It's not as smooth as this. It's not as juicy and as, how do you say, just magnificent as this. But wow, this is delicious. So absolutely, if you never had this, I'll be honest, if you drink this, you're not gonna be missing out on much. Buffalo Trace did us a favor by releasing this at $35. Wow, that's, bravo. All right, and the bonus question, how much would I pay for this now that I had a taste of both? Well, let me just take one more sip. Now that I had a taste of this, the most I'll pay for this, MSRP, $150, I think it's actually $180 here in California for some reason. I know it's nationally owned as $150. So let's just say the most I'll pay for a Thomas H. Handy is $200. The reason it does have the wow factor. It does have the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection stamped onto it, right? The Sazerac Rye does have a little bit of a cheaper reputation, right? Especially being $35. So even if you take it to a bottle share, people are not gonna be impressed. This, you bring it out in a bottle share. You bring it out with your friends. You bring it out with your family. You bring it out at a Christmas party or a New Year's party. Let's be honest, it's gonna be like, whoa, holy God. And so to share this experience, to share something like this with the people I love, yeah, I'm willing to pay up to, let's say, 200 bucks. But just the pure whiskey inside, this at 35 is, I actually don't know value-wise if there's any rye whiskeys that's gonna be close to this. So leave in the comments, have you had the Sazerac Full Proof Rye? Were you as impressed as I was? And if you also had the Thomas H. Shandy, was it comparable? Was it close? Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.